Hi, I'm Rob Boyd, an English photographer from the UK. I decided to create this podcast series talking to international photographers whose work I truly love. I realised I knew nothing about these amazing people apart from their names and their stunning work. So I created a set of hopefully entertaining questions that finds out who they are and what they love. Hi Chiara, so nice to see you. Thank you for joining me.
Hello, hi, thanks for having me.
If you could start by your name and your Instagram name, that'd be amazing.
So my name is Chiara and my Instagram username is Claire Lyons, and it's actually my name in French and my surname in English. So Claire Lyons is actually my real name in two different languages.
I'm so glad you told me that. I would never have worked that one out. Brilliant stuff. And do you have a website?
Not really, not for photography. I'm mainly used for design, my UX design work, but for photography, my main point of contact is Instagram.
Stuff, brilliant stuff. And where do you live?
I live in Rotterdam, in the Netherlands.
Excellent stuff. And where are you from? And originally?
So I'm actually Italian. So from Italy, I'm from Tuscany, a small village in Toscana, near Livorno or Pisa, if you know the area. The name is Donoratico, but I assume not most of the people wouldn't know that. So it's really small.
Yeah, fair enough. And do you get back much? Do you go home much?
So we try to go, of course, for family reason and special occasion, but the usual, it's like 3 times a year for the holidays. But if we can, we go more.
And if I visited you, where would you take me to shoot?
So there's definitely a lot to see around Rotterdam. I think it's really nice and it's really different from what we expect any Dutch cities. So if you can visit me directly, I would say we'll stay in Rotterdam, but there's definitely a lot to see in Amsterdam as well, and it's pretty close by. So maybe both.
Yeah, excellent. And is there much for tourists? I guess there must be.
Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, I live pretty close by the cube houses, the like really small cube houses, yellow houses in Rotterdam. They're one of the main attraction. But in general, the city has a really nice, modern New Yorky feeling, they say, with skyscrapers. So it's really interesting to shoot around the street photography and architectural photography. It's a lot known for nice and strange architecture buildings. So.
Yeah. No, I'm definitely visiting. There's so many of you out there that,
Yeah, it's a big community. So
Great. Yeah, lovely. Brilliant stuff. So what's your favorite destination in the world?
So it's definitely, I would say it's pretty standard, but it's Japan. So in particular, Tokyo for me. But yeah, we've been twice with me and my partner to Japan, but it's definitely our favorite place in the world. So we're planning the 3rd time as soon as we can.
So where would you like to most visit in the world? I'll get my words out in a minute.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's I would say that my answer is actually my next destination as an holiday. So it's South Korea. We're going there in November, and it's actually my second place after Japan in my wish list. So I would say that we're going to check that by the end of the year. I'm really excited about that. Yeah, and I definitely love a lot. There's a reason I love K-pop, K-drama, the cooking, and so I was a lot in the Korean culture, so I'm really excited about that.
So random weird question. If you could time travel, where and when would you visit?
So I would say that it would either be some really ancient, like ancient Egypt or ancient Japan, maybe like feudal Japan. But maybe if I think about photography as well, I would really like to photograph the 80s, 90s of Japan, like the city pop vibes with a lot of neons and really cool people with fashion. And so I would think that the streets would have looked really nice and cool, at least from videos, right, that we see in photos. So I would really love that.
Yeah, absolutely. Can't go wrong with a bit of neon, I must admit. So if you could photograph anyone in history, who would you shoot?
So that was a difficult question for me because I'm not really a portrait photographer. I mean, I do portraits if someone asks, but I'm not especially a portrait photographer. So I have to really think about. And I would say that my answer would be more about doing something artistic or eccentric. So maybe I was thinking about David Bowie or someone like Freddie Mercury. So some people that maybe you could play around in a shooting, right, instead of doing the normal or standard portraits.
Yeah, get somebody animated. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So tell me a fun fact or a story about yourself.
So something, yeah, as a child, I wanted to be an Egyptologist. So like Lara Croft and the Mummy helped a lot in my when I was younger, and so we went. My parents brought me to Japan, to Egypt, not Japan, to Egypt in when I was a child. And I like to say that when I went inside the biggest museum in El Cairo, I was like, um, I got the Stendhal syndrome and I passed out, but it was not actually the Stendhal syndrome. It was just really hot. But I like to say that I felt really impressed by the museum and everything and really overwhelmed. And so I like to say that I had this big moment. And then in the end, and nothing happened after because I didn't become an Egyptologist, but it's a really fun story that I said about my me being a child.
That's it. The gods breathed on you and you fell over. That was it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I stood at tell people, right?
It's amazing. That's great. So another weird question. What's your favorite word?
To be honest, I have more words that I don't like instead of that I like. It's especially words that I find strange in pronunciation. So I have a big list of those words. If I have to think about something that I like, maybe I would say something about flowers like peonies or peonia in Italian. So I will say that, yeah, this is my favorite words and also flower, right? So it's kind of connected.
Excellent. Yeah, that's brilliant. Love that. Because it's an international podcast, tell me a new word or a new saying that I might not know.
Of course, Italian for me. So we have a funny thing that I always like to say that it's called essere alla frutta, arrivare alla frutta. It means like literally is like be at the fruit. So when you have a meal, you're at the fruit. So at the end, so it means that you cannot take anymore, like really full of everything. So like I'm at my limit. I cannot do anything else. Yeah, enough, right? So it's enough. But it's really nice to say, yeah, be at the fruit, right? Fruit in the fruits, right? So at the end of a meal, right? So we always try to put meal and food in everything, I think, in Italy.
Absolutely. No, I love it. I love this question because I learned so much. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, yeah, it's really nice.
So when did photography click for you? Obviously, excuse the pun, but when did you realize you could take a good photo?
So I would say that my first approach was we did our first Japan trip, and before going, and I really wanted to take a nice picture. I didn't know what nice picture were at the time, so it's like 2017, and so I went and took a basic course of photography just to learn because I bought a Nikon, so the SLR, so I tried to play around with the camera and I did this course. But after that, I actually said, no, it's not that much. Yeah, it's too much pressure to take the right shots. I really don't like it that much. But then I went to Cambridge. I moved to Cambridge and I was by myself because my boyfriend wasn't there. And I started going, and I needed to fill time. So I kind of took back the camera and went outside. But at some point, instead of taking picture of the monuments and touristic attraction, I shifted to people and I understood that maybe there were interesting things to take pictures of. And so that's I think that being alone with myself and one city that I started to know better, it really helped a lot with my beginning in the photography.
Excellent. And Cambridge is one of those places that you get such a mixture of people.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's very nice. Yeah, there's a lot to. I think I always found something to take picture of when I was working. So it's really nice. I have good memories of the place, really.
With the photos, what's your favorite three, and why do you like them?
So the first one I have to say is the first people photo or street photo, if you want, that I took in Cambridge, and it was a reflection of a guy in a pub in front of the main college, so you could see a little bit of the college in the reflection and the guy that he was reading a book. And so that was the first time that I said, okay, I can take, yeah, again, street portrait or interesting things. I can do interesting stuff with my camera and not just landscape and touristic attractions. So that's the first one, and also chronologically ordered. The first one that I really love, and then there is one from 2021 in Amsterdam. So I think it was one when I visited because my boyfriend was here and I was in Cambridge, so I visited him, and I took a picture of a girl behind a plastic curtains. So she was looking at some paintings or printing to buy. And so it was really the first time that I tried something abstract because you could see the kind of shape, but you couldn't see the details of the face or anything. You could only try to understand. And so I really like the abstraction of that because you can definitely think of a story of behind that picture. So it was the first time for me that I said, okay, I can do more artistic stuff and not just portraits, a street portrait. And the last one I would say is in London, so really spread around these photos, and it's the one where of a restaurant, a Japanese restaurant in London that is called Chizu, and you see the door, the wooden door, and you see one of the employees enter the restaurant. So it was one also that they exhibited last week at the Worldwide Street exhibition. So it's really one of my. I think I like it because in some way it's one that brought me a lot of followers and a lot of people started following me after the photo. It was quite popular, let's say. But there's also a really nice story behind that photo that I talk about when I was at the exhibition, and I really like to tell because I saw the place, but there was no one in front of the door. So it was pretty boring. It was a nice light, but it was just a door. And so I asked my boyfriend that it was with me to work in front of the restaurant to have a silhouette or someone just to make it more interesting. And as the moment that he got out of the frame, the employees of the restaurant actually came and entered. And so I shot, I shot a lot, hoping to get the right shot, and it happened. So I got the right moment. But so that's why I also have a version of that photo with my boyfriend in it while working, right? So it's a nice memory of that photo that it sounded like it needed to happen, right? So I needed to be there and take that shot.
Brilliant. I mean, that's what I love about street photography, though. You never know. You never know. Split second, everything changes. But that's also what I love about your work. It's so varied. You've got, you travel a lot. Obviously, that's the key. You see a lot of different places and things, but you've got a really good eye for spotting a scene. So well done. It's amazing.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
So, what advice would you give a new photographer?
I don't feel like I can share a lot of knowledge, to be honest. I'm still learning. I think everyone still learns, right? So, but I feel the same even for my work, and I've been doing that for 10 years, right? So I think it's just a personal thing that I feel like I'm not knowledgeable enough to share advices. I'm trying to change that. But so for photography, I would say that you have to keep trying. As I mentioned in my story, like of where I started. At the beginning, I wasn't really happy with my Japan photos because I put too much pressure on me, right, of getting the right photo of that trip that I thought was the only chance. In the end, I went back 2 years later, right? So it wasn't the only chance. But even if it was, I think it's nice to try. You evolve a lot. I think that if it's something that you really like, you have to keep trying, keep practicing, keep shooting different stuff, try a lot, portraits, landscape, um, street. I think you have macro photography. You have to try a lot to understand what actually clicks to you, go with you. So just try, practice, and do. And I think that shoot what you like and what you love. That would be my main advice. Yeah.
Good advice. Excellent. Yeah, 100%. So what have you got going on next then? So what's next? What are your photography goals going forward?
That's a bit of unclear for me now. So of course I'm still riding the high of the exhibition that was on 2 weeks ago, yeah, almost 2 weeks ago. And so we still there was a lot of excitement, a lot of talking about future exhibition, of future stuff to do. And I'm really happy to be in that group because it kind of pushing also me in thinking about what I can do with my photography, right? When I was before, I wouldn't think that this could be anything, right? So I'm thinking, so maybe other exhibition, I'd love to do that. And let's see. I'm not sure yet, but so we will see what happens, to be honest. I try to go with the flow because of course this is a passion and it's a side passion. It's not my main, it's not my full job. So I'll see what the flow brings to me and how to react to that, but nothing too specific for now. I'm still figuring that out.
Yeah, sure. But that's what's great about it. When it's your own hobby or your own passion, you do it because you love it.
I think that's what keeps pushing me. I mean, sometimes they say you should go full-time photographer. I say I'm afraid to actually lose the passion for that, right? So because then if you have to get money out of it, it's kind of become a lot of pressure in doing stuff that brings you money instead of just doing what you love, as I was saying before as an advice, right? So
Yeah, no, absolutely. And the thing is, if you get pigeonholed and they want a specific look and you don't like that look, then
yeah,
I totally get that.
exactly. So yeah, let's see. Finger crossed for things to happen.
Well, thanks so much for joining me. We've had some technical issues and you've been very, very, very patient.
Don't worry. Yeah, thank you so much for having me. It was really nice. It was a pleasure, really.
Well,
It's really,
yeah, I love your work. It's absolutely amazing. We've said that 100 times
thank you
before,
so much.
but no problem. Well, you take care and thanks a million.
Yeah, thank you so much. Take care. And yeah, enjoy the rest of the day and the week. Thank you. Bye.